Let's Talk Music, and I'm here with Zach and Olivia of Riversend. How are you doing this evening?
Good.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. First off, want to say that love the music. The guitar in there is phenomenal. The vocals, when I first heard it, I was kind of like, man, that's almost an Amy Lee vibe.
Yeah, thank you.
So, it's
Oh, yeah.
definitely the haunting vocals and the that I really captured my ear.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, you guys are out of Southampton, New Jersey, correct?
Yeah.
And how's the music scene over there?
Um, I don't. It's like a lot of acoustic and like reggae. There's like a reggae band around here that our friend is in. Well, other than that, I don't really know. Um,
So, Zach, you also are the lead guitarist for Disciples of Verity and Second Skin,
yep.
which I have an interview with tomorrow night at 8:30.
Oh, nice. Cool. I'll see you then.
And so, Olivia, what did you do before Riversend?
Um, I'm a self-proclaimed closet singer. Yeah, nothing. He got me out of my shell, so
Yeah, it was a long time in the making, but it happened.
Yeah, and I mean, I good job, man, because you have a beautiful voice.
thank you.
You
Appreciate it.
guys, like I said, man, the vibe is awesome. I was sitting there talking to my wife, like, man, I feel like I almost need to just like fire one up and just kind of chill. It's like that kind of music.
Mhm.
So you guys debuted September of 22, first single Dreaming,
Mhm.
which again, great guitar work in that and love the it was a lyrical video, but it was still really cool.
Mhm.
You
Thank
know, that I think the mood of the video or the lyric video fit with the song. I really couldn't see. I mean, I guess I probably could see a video with that, but any other kind because that was great.
you.
I
Yeah.
listened to Phantom, Moonlight, Dead and Gone, pretty much all of your music. I've been taking notes and everything for the past couple of days since I knew I was going to do it, and yeah, you guys definitely got something special going there.
Thanks.
Thank
That
you.
means a lot.
Yeah, it's hard because we don't really know where we fit. So it's like I guess we do have something like you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Somewhere in between the lines here.
Yeah.
Here's our third measure of Riverside.
Oh yeah.
Great.
And speaking of which, Zach, you did all the bass, the piano. You did some vocals. I know you did some vocals on what was it? Let me look, check my notes here. Phantom, and you also did them on Dead and Gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so the guest drummer Garrett Cruz is I looked him up. I'm hoping I got the right guy. He's the former drummer of Dark Harvest.
Yeah, that was me and Garrett's first band in like middle school.
Oh wow.
And so we go back like 15 years. So he's like a psychedelic drummer. He plays bass, guitar, percussion. His girlfriend's a great singer. So, you know, he's like one of my good musician friends. Um and he helped us a lot with the video and he put some cool background stuff on it on this one. So
Yeah, and I mean it said that he does that kind of like what is it, visual effects and stuff like that.
yeah.
That's like his job.
Yeah,
Actually, he
he's
went
like
to
a
school for it.
AV tech and for like JP Morgan Chase. So he knows his stuff with like
Nice.
recording and so
So yeah, I read in the press release and you guys were a little worried about the new release of Revolution is My Name being a Pantera cover.
yeah.
Yeah.
Zach, I read that you had quoted that you thought that it would be cool to record because you'd never heard anybody do Pantera like that.
Yeah, it's like you know, you hear Pantera covers all the time, like guitar covers or like the all female version of it, but they're still ripping and playing hard. I thought it would be cool because I heard Olivia like singing it in the shower or something. So I'm like, that would be really cool if we like dialed it back, stripped it down, made it like kind of not like sinister, but like haunting, I guess. Yeah.
Bluesy, a little
Bluesy.
bit.
Yeah. Well, and plus like Pantera were like really bluesy themselves. So it's like the clean side of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, man, that's again, I think it turned out great. I don't think you have much to worry about in that department. It's I I used to be one of those closed-minded people, you know what I mean? I was pretty much metal.
Mhm.
And in order to do this, you can't be like that. And I think taking a hardcore metal song like that from a band that was on top of the world in the 90s and crazier than shithouse rats, you guys did it justice.
Great, that's
I'm
awesome.
glad.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad people like it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We were wondering, like, we love Pantera, and we know there's some pretty, like, I don't know if gatekeeper is the right word, if we would be met with that kind of criticism, like Pantera should only be done by Pantera. And so it's been really nice seeing the embrace of open arms to our rendition of it. And yeah, it's really encouraging.
And plus it's a like a metal anthem. So it kind of I feel like opened us up to like a whole nother crowd too, in a way. Plus we love metal anyway. It's just not in our sound really, but
So is this just a project that you guys are doing, or are you thinking of turning it into something?
right now it's like a project. Over time, I think it would be cool to get a couple shows. Like, we could do a couple open mics and stuff. Um, yeah, I guess we would just need to get another guitar player, drummer, bass, maybe piano, but yeah, maybe down the line, but
Mhm.
So are you staying pretty busy with your other two bands?
yeah, so I got DOV, I got Second Skin, this, and then I actually have my own thing. If three things wasn't enough, but
There you go.
otherwise, so yeah, I keep busy for sure.
So how long have you guys been doing music together? I mean, I know that it said that you debuted in 2022, but I mean, and
Yeah.
you just got her out of her shell, but is this like was there I guess any kind of prelude to it?
Yeah, there's like we played a show at like a local like restaurant, like background music, and we played like acoustic versions of like rock. We did like a holiday show, like around Christmas time. So I mean there was always like music going on. It was just like getting it to a point where we want to start writing and recording our own stuff.
Right.
But there's always been interest. Like we love Neil Young, we love like the Doors, so we would always do stuff like that. She loves like Lindy Ortega and Linda Ronstadt.
Okay.
We always do stuff like that and like break it down.
And you can feel that vibe in your music. That I'm saying, like the haunting vocals, the just I mean, yeah, I compliment people all the time, but I mean, seriously, dude, your guitar work is amazing.
Thank you.
And I feel like everything that you guys did with this project, every song, it fit so well. The videos went so well with the song, the lyrics, the guitar, the drums, the piano in certain ones. I mean, it was so just um captivating, man. I mean, it really did the moment that I heard Revolution is my name, I'm like, oh, I know this one. And it caught my attention. I'm like, okay, well, let me see what else they did. And like I said, Dreaming I thought was great. Phantom I really enjoyed. I enjoyed them all, but I mean, I think those are the two outside of Revolution is my name that stuck out to me was Dreaming and Phantom. And it's got to feel good that this is a project, but you're getting people's attention. I mean, it is catching on. I mean, it might not show in the Spotify numbers or the YouTube numbers right yet, but hey, man, I'm on the verge of 200 subscribers, and I've been doing this for like 2 years now. So,
It takes a long time. It's some people have like that luck where they just like take off overnight, but like we just got to keep grinding and working at what we do, and because we love it.
right, and that's why I do this. I mean, because I love music. I I kind of, like I said, I was closed minded, so I was used to all the mainstream stuff, and then I started working with you know, all these publicists, and I mean, there's great music everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna find.
Right, and I mean, it's got to be such a competitive business.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Like you hear a lot of these older bands. They're like, if we had the internet back then, it would be so much easier to get heard and known. But that's the thing. Everybody and their mother's doing it, and everybody can do it now with
Hmm.
how easy. Like you don't need big flying fader boards or anything. You got the little box and the Mac and the quarter-inch cable, and you're set, and a nice guitar.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. So you use PRS guitars?
Yeah, for Riversend, I pretty much use them almost exclusively. And they're actually they're Olivia's guitars, but I use them a lot, so they're like ours, I guess. But because I
Also,
got a collection in my room and I'm like running out of space, so now they're bleeding into here.
you play guitar also, Olivia?
Not really, not well enough to lay down any kind of track for a recording or anything. But
We're
that's
working
where
at
he
it.
comes in.
Is that something you're interested in though?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been interested in it. But I feel like I lack the talent and the discipline in that department. So yeah.
I feel you, sister. That's why I do this.
Yeah.
I tried guitar, I tried drums, and singing. My God, you think a hound dog being tortured sounds
Yeah.
better?
Hey, I'm sure there's a market for that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure, but I'd rather not be the one to open it up.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, what about like, so right now you're just doing singles. We have no kind of like EP or anything like that, right?
Not yet, but I feel like maybe soon. Maybe if we do another single, maybe we'll have like a nice six song EP.
Right.
Maybe. So we'll see.
I mean,
And
he's always recording. We have like a Google Drive full of unfinished projects for this, Riversend, and he's just kind of waiting on me to get going. I mean, he can crank out a song in no time, and it
right.
sounds great. And I need to marinate with. I mean, Dreaming, that took what, 2 years?
Nah, it took oh yeah, well it took like a year. But then again we moved and stuff too, so like life got in the way. But yeah, it
Mhm.
went on the back burner for a while, and then we were like, well, do we want to do like a band? What are we gonna
Mhm.
call it? And it's like we can't find a name because everybody has everything.
Mhm.
So yeah, so it took a while.
Yeah.
How did the name Riversend come about?
I think you came up with it.
Yeah. So the I wanted something kind of ethereal and nature oriented. And I just kept trying to Google what wasn't taken by other. I mean, everything under the sun is taken.
Hmm.
And that came up, and I was just kind of stuck with it. And we're like, we like the sound of that.
And then
And
let's take the words, make it like, well, we'll beg the question, how do you say it? And I'd be like, it's up to you.
River's End or Riversend. Yeah.
Either way, I mean, it's unique, and I think that with your vibe, it fits perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like I said, we've got a very ethereal um I guess sound is right. Would you
Ghostly,
yeah.
ethereal, the color blue, lots of reverb, and yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we're talking like I mean, Phantom was 2 months ago, Moonlight 7 months ago, Revolution is my name. So I mean, I feel like you're releasing your singles in a good enough part of time, or what's the word I'm looking for? Far enough apart that it keeps people interested in like, okay, what are they going to do next? And that's kind of how today's industry is. Because I mean, if you release like say a single and then you put it on an EP, it's going to burn out within probably 6 months or less.
Yeah.
And that's the sad thing about it. Because I remember back in the day wearing tapes out. I mean, I would listen to them. It was going in my car. It was going on my, my radio, my stacked stereo, all that stuff. I mean, and now with all the streaming and everything, it is you. I mean, you have to find what works and how to capture people's attention to keep them interested. And with the short attention spans these days,
Yeah.
I mean, it's rough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like kind of sad. It's 'cause I remember even when I was a kid, I was sitting in my room with my CDs, and none of my friends really had CDs. I mean, they had records and stuff, but I would sit and read the lyrics for hours and just like look at the pictures and like listen to it over and over and over again. But
Yep, I've mentioned the same thing in other interviews. Is that was one of the things I loved about cassette tapes was the fact that I'd tear the wrapping off of it, open it up, put it in, hit play, and open that jacket and start reading.
yeah, it was fun. It was something to do too.
Right. I mean, and I mean, I've always been into music, but that's kind of what captured my attention was like, people will be like, "Hey man, they call me up, who sings this song?" Oh, I could rattle it right off. It was like I was a freaking encyclopedia of music. But what was cool to me is like you could see, who produced it, who
Yeah.
mixed it, what members wrote that particular song, and stuff like that. And you don't see that anymore.
No, yeah,
I mean, vinyl's making a comeback. I've got a few vinyl records. I got one from Saliva when I did an interview with them, which was signed by Wayne. Now he's gone, so that's a keeper. I got one from Otherwise, their newest one, a CD and vinyl. So I mean, I love listening to vinyl, but I really do miss cassette tapes.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, now they're like, I mean, cars aren't even coming with CD.
Yeah, that's the thing. I got 500 CDs. I got bins in the basement like that high, and I don't even know what to do with them now.
Oh, you can still buy radios though to play them, but I mean
Yeah,
my daughter has one. I've actually he's sitting beside me. I've got a Victrola record player that I bought, and that there was one when I was looking at the selection that you could set or put a cassette tape in the side of it.
oh
And
yeah,
I seriously thought about that, and I'm like, but I ain't got no cassettes anymore. And I used to. I'm like you, man. I had stacks and stacks of them. I'm like, I wish to God I knew what happened to them all because I mean, I had some that like Garage Days Revisited. That was it's out of print now.
yeah,
The 598 EP, and it just uh I think it was actually the first one that they actually made with Jason Newsted.
yeah. That was a cool one. It's cool because it's like it tided you over until they did they did that before Justice for
Yep.
All. So yeah,
Yep. And I mean it was nothing but covers. So
yeah. Which I think they did all of them better than the originals anyway. They have a tendency. I feel like they do. They just make them so much better.
yeah, that's a band that I mean, and that's what I'm saying. It's back then that was more of a thing as like these metal bands or rock bands or whatever would emerge and they would just explode.
Yeah.
And now it's hard to even get off the ground.
Yeah, it really is.
So I mean, what is it that really drives you guys? What is it that keeps you doing it?
Well, we live together.
Well,
We date each other. It's very easy.
it is very easy. That's one of the perks of it. But um, well, I always wanted to just I always admired like how these bands have all these great albums, and I figured I want to be one of those bands or people like Chris Cornell. He's great in Soundgarden. He's great in his own thing. He's great in Audio Slave. He's got this big legacy to leave behind.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that would be my reason for doing it. I just want to have a lot of great music and be like, yeah, that's the guy. That's him. He was on that. And Riversend hopefully is one of those things where people are like, yeah, that was a great band.
Yeah. So what actually got you into music, Zach?
My dad, my mom, they always had music on. Especially my dad. We would always like go to like the store and whatever records and listen to the CDs and we just have them on all weekend. And I think when I was like 10, I got really into Ozzy. So that was like what started it. And then I got really into Metallica. My mom got me into Metallica. So and then I started playing guitar all the time and started jamming with my friend Garrett on the drums and stuff. So and it just snowballed from there and it just
Right.
never stopped. A lot of people I feel like grow out of it and I just never did because I'm like a big kid at heart, I guess. But
I feel you. What about you, Olivia? What got you interested in music?
Um, I honestly don't know. Both of my parents, I don't really remember music being on too much growing up. Certainly not metal.
Leonard,
Yeah, Leonard Cohen. Yeah, I don't know. I've always loved singing. Granted, not in front of anybody. And I just kind of found my own path with music. Actually, when we met, Pink Floyd was my favorite band. Not to be generic or anything, but I love Dave Gilmour.
yeah.
Yes.
And actually, like Dave Gilmour and Division Bell, I would consider one of our influences.
It's an edgy pick for
Mhm.
Pink Floyd. That's a great album.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I seen that tour.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
1994 at the Ohio State football stadium, the Horseshoe. Yeah. I ended up selling a 12 gauge shotgun of mine to a friend of mine's dad for $100. I went down on campus and got 2 tickets for $100, and we were on the second deck to the left of the stage, third row up.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Oh
awesome.
my
That's
gosh.
something you'll never forget.
Yeah.
No, never. It was probably, I've been to a zillion concerts, and it was one of the probably the most just you know,
Yeah. I
That's
mean, his whole
musically,
production.
visually, everything. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the whole presentation of that. I mean, we watched like the Pompeii thing. We went to the movies and saw that when it
Yeah.
came out.
Yeah.
But watching it can't be anything like being there. And he never comes to New Jersey or really like, I don't know, this region.
Well, he was touring on Rattle That Lock.
Mhm.
I don't know if you're familiar with that album that came out in what, like 16?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Yeah, and we missed our window to go see him, and we thought, oh, he'll be back.
We kept calling radio, trying to win the tickets, and
Didn't happen.
you don't know if you don't try, I guess, right?
Right. Yeah, I remember the our local radio station, the Blitz, talking about it. That's how long them people have been around. They're still around, and they were saying, because the Blitz band actually opened up for him, which was just some DJs from the Blitz that had a band. And I was like, what kind of, what an honor to be,
Yeah.
a local radio station's band, and you're opening for one of the biggest bands in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They was talking about like how many buses and how many semis and everything that were coming in. I mean, it was like you would thought that, a full-blown circus was coming to town.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But the production of it, man, I mean, God, it was just, yeah, it takes me back.
What always gets us is his backing singers.
Oh, phenomenal.
The ladies he gets, and usually there's like a guy in there, but
Mhm.
they're just so animated and and it fills it in so much.
Yeah.
That would be like if Riversend were to play, I would want like David Gilmour's kind of giant band that he has. That would be really cool.
Right. Something else that I seen that really caught my eye was DOV did a song featuring Corey Glover from Living Color.
Yeah, actually, Corey is like our singer for the
Oh,
whole.
really?
Yeah, So he's our singer. I joined the band 3 years ago. They did an album right before I joined, and we actually just finished one. And we're just waiting to see what's going on with like management. But I'm on it. Corey's on like every song. We got a guest singer. I forget who it is. And then actually, God Forbid's drummer, Corey Pierce, is our drummer for all the tunes too. So,
Okay.
and then Mark from Second Skin is the other guitar player in that band also. And
Okay.
George Pond, he was in Second Skin. Now he's in DOV. You know what I mean? So everybody's like kind of like interwoven in all these groups.
Oh my God, I love me some Corey Taylor or Corey Glover, man. I mean, yeah, Corey Taylor too, but Corey Glover. I remember when Call of Personality first came out on MTV,
Yeah.
and I was like, Vernon Reed was just insane, man, with that guitar. I was like, man, you hadn't seen anything like it yet, and
Yeah.
it kind of they set a new tone,
Yeah. They got great riffs. They have a really big sound. Like I love those bands that only have the one guitar player. Like they just fill in all the sound so nicely. And even when you watch them live, they're like really solid. And Corey's a really great singer.
Yeah, he
Really
is.
diverse too. And he's in like everything.
Have you met with Corey, Olivia?
I met him once at what was it, Dingbats?
Yeah, he gave you a hug.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah, he's really nice. He's like a teddy bear.
Yeah, I seen they played. Oh God, it was probably was it 2023? I'm gonna say probably about 2014 or 15. They played at Rock on the Range here.
Okay.
So and oh man, I was like at the main stage, and they was like, oh, Living Color is getting ready to play. I was just going. I left the main stage to go over to the side stage to see that, man, because I did. Um I didn't care. Well, I'm not gonna say that, but it's yeah, Call to Personality was just um an amazing tune. I mean,
Yeah.
and what's Vernon up to these days,
I don't really know. Well, those guys, I know they just did a record, I think, and they are going to play a couple shows. I know they played a couple shows a couple months ago around here in Jersey. Um, I couldn't make it, unfortunately. It was at the PNC Bank Center in Hopewell.
Okay.
Um, and Vernon, I know Second Skin had years ago, before I joined the band, Vernon featured on a song on guitar. He played a solo or two. So, yeah, I guess all those guys are just incredible musicians, and I'm sure they're just part of whatever they can be. But then they come home to Living Color.
Right. So, I mean, if you guys get to making this a production, more than just a project, what like I guess what kind of bands would you like to go out and play with? I mean, would you like something that's similar to Riversend, or would you like something that's maybe a little more edgy?
Um,
I'm just gonna put out there at Soen. I love Soen.
oh yeah.
They are like they're also very ethereal and ambient. I feel like that would kind of work well.
We would be like a good opener band.
Yeah.
Someone is like they're a lot like Opeth,
Mhm.
but they're more, I think, focused. Like they don't have like part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Mm-hmm.
They're more like verse, chorus. You know what I mean? They're a little more condensed, but they're a really good band. Olivia loves Evanescence.
And who doesn't love Evanescence?
Yeah, no, they're a great band too, and it's just hard. I wonder like where we would fit if we played live.
That's the thing. We've been told by many playlisters that we have no spot for you. We like your sound, but you're not enough this or you're not enough that. So I feel if we ever did tour or play with other bands, we would kind of be met with the same challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is weird because we've also been told you guys sound not original enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I think another thing too, I don't know what kind of bands like the classic rock bands have opening for them. I don't know if they have other classic rock bands or if they have like newer, like almost like throwback kind of
Right.
bands. You know what I mean? Maybe that would work if if we ever got to that level.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, I
I
mean,
think
I don't mean to like step on anybody's toes or anything like that, but they don't know what they're talking about. You guys, I think you fit in perfectly. And it's music is it's all about interpretation.
oh,
yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And I feel like um it's how the music touches you that really makes you think, okay, this band is great. Like we talked about Pink Floyd. I mean,
Mhm.
they have so many songs that you can just rattle off the top of your head that like are great songs that, that in some way inspired you or touched you. Same with, Riversend. I mean, like I said, I loved Phantom. I loved, Dreaming. I liked all of the music, but those, were two of my favorites. And I really feel like you guys, you have something here. And I mean, I know you got a lot of projects going on and you're just a fresh out of the closet singer,
Yeah.
but you guys really should just, I think you should focus on this and work on it because I feel like, you really could go somewhere with it.
That's awesome. Thank you.
We appreciate that a lot. It really
Mhm.
does mean a lot to us. We know that people really like it, and
Mhm.
yeah, we'll just keep hammering it out.
Yeah. And I mean, that's just, that's kind of my thing with this is, I've done a couple of big names, Tommy Vex, Keith Wallen from Breaking Benjamin, but um, I prefer to stick with bands that are up and coming. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm some type of contribution to them getting out there. Because what I'll do is I'll take our interview, I'll put it on my YouTube channel, which I feature all of your socials. It'll also feature the video or the link for your new video. And any type of people that hit that, are going to see it, and it's going to take them to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's my way of contributing to the music world.
Yeah, that's
No, that's
awesome.
awesome. It's got to be cool. I can't imagine, all the cool bands that I'm sure you talk to that go on to do really great things. And you're saying from Breaking Benjamin, just being able to pick their brain about things and getting a little insight like how they got to where they are.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
Processes.
that was more of a Keith was doing a side project. He was going out with the band Red, and he was doing a like an acoustic type deal.
Okay.
We talked a little bit about Breaking Benjamin, but I wanted to focus more on his project because I don't want to be like, oh man, Breaking Benjamin, that's
Yeah.
not what it was about. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, guys, I really do appreciate your time. Again, I think you have something very special here. Love the music, love the theme, the whole thing, man, just fits.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, and Zach, I may see you tomorrow. I may not. I don't know who all, she said it might be the whole band. So,
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I have work at like 10, so I told them I'll be like probably in my own little pod here, my own little square. But those guys, I'm sure they'll be on, and they're quirky and they're funny too. So
yeah, she's Allison said sent me one earlier like, are we still on for tomorrow? Because it might be the whole band, and it's 8:30. I said, yeah, we're all good, because I
yeah,
mean it just my day job can screw things up at times. That's why I thought 8:30 was a good fit. So,
yeah, it's
Mhm.
perfect.
Yeah.
but, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you get to your evening. Thank you so much for your time. And you know
Yeah.
what, Riversend, I'm going to get you guys up on YouTube, and hopefully it helps you. And again, just love the music.
Great. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. It was
We
great meeting you.
appreciate it.
All
Yeah,
right. Well, you have a good evening.
You too.
you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.